未来洗联储还有 HDO 洗币会别人抢着来成为国家流通的货币。接下来被国家认可、主权认可、主权流通，甚至大的这招地控制的金融集团流通，它是一定会发生的。
Good evening, good morning. Welcome to episode 63 of Crypto News Talk. My name is Bindi and I have my two co-hosts here. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Jude. Go ahead.
Good morning. I'm Lily, and it's nice to have you join us today. Thank you. Over to you, 007.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm very happy to be here again, and I was here last night with the Chinese version. So great to see you. Okay.
Yep. So today we are going to circle back to digital euro. You know, not too long ago, we actually talked about digital euro, how they came up with MICA. Flower, if you can have first slide. Yes, digital euro is supposed to be 2 years away. Is that a surprise? Let's have a look. Next slide, please. Now, of course, the CEO of, not the CEO, the president of European Central Bank said that she wanted to address conspiracy theory about CBDC and government snooping. So there's 2 years supposedly to address privacy fears. Next slide, please. Now, a few episodes ago, we actually talked about MICA. When MICA was issued, that was when we said, wow, Europe is leading the market of CBDC, leading crypto in the space, because they are the first to come up with a market in crypto asset law. But then it has kind of like hit a snag. Next slide, Flower. If we have a look at the ECB, that's European Central Bank. Now, just to recap, European Central Bank was actually founded in 1998, and it is recognized as one of the world's most important central bank. So whatever they do, everybody had their eyes on ECB. Next slide, digital euro. Somehow, we think that Europe is more advanced in the crypto space or digital space, cryptocurrency space compared to the US. Now, ECB has explored digital euro and CBDC, which is digital euro. Sorry. Now, how this is supposed to coexist with cash. So they are not looking to replace cash as yet, but they say it will complement physical currency. Now, of course, digital euro is not a cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency is usually referred to currency that digital space. There is digital currency that is issued privately rather than from a central bank. Now, a central bank, digital euro is supposed to be regulated and has stability and has the government's backing. Next slide. Now, again, just to recap, stablecoin, usually they are pegged. It can be pegged to fiat currency, it can be pegged to algorithm, or even to commodities or other cryptocurrencies. But CBDC is issued and regulated by central bank. That's the essence between the CBDC and stablecoin. Yet, most people, if not all, have more suspicion towards CBDC than towards stablecoin somehow. So next slide. Now we are going to launch into our first question for discussion. You know, this is on the statement that says digital euro is at least 2 years away. Should we be surprised, 2007? Should we be surprised? The comment is digital euro is 2 years away.
Not surprised at all, because last week we heard that in the with the US CBDC that the House of Representatives, and they have basically said no into it. So not until 2 years later. So here you go. And the US central bank is not going to have this CBDC lately. The same that the second largest bank, I think the European banks, CBDC, is going to be also that. I think Why is 2 years away? People probably wonder why, before was the Michael was very popular and so hot. And why they didn't, yeah, and why, they were so hot that we even bothered to make a couple of weeks of reporting and discussion on that subject, okay, in our platform. Now we see this is like a turning around the wind, turning around from either speedy go ahead with the CBDC and see how European Central Bank thinks that the privacy issue is big thing. And the same for the US as well. But the same also Australian Central Bank. Okay, Philip Lowe, the governor, said that we won't even touch that until 5 years away later. Okay, and even though we may think that the central bank should never really in control of the CBDC, rather we give private sector because they're more innovative and it's much cheaper to implement that system of CBDC if anything, and that should be done. So therefore, it's a turnaround from straight into CBDCs, Australian, New Zealand, Canada, US, and European banks. And now US, Australian, and the European banks is going to turn around to say, no, hang on, due to all kinds of reasons. I think one of the main reasons is this private concern, because they immediately just imagine what we're doing. We're already using our digital currency. If you are paying by a credit card, for example, Visa, okay, where even you are domestically, you can still use that. So it's digitally recorded fiat. If you use Australian dollars, okay, and the US dollars, euros as well. But then what happens? The difference is if you use the so-called digital euro or CBDC, each money, each dollar, say for example, you use, what's going to happen is it has a long digital number on it. It's just like there's a number printed in every note. You know what does that do for you? It tags you every dollar you spend. Tag, T-A-G, okay? So it just watch your money movements. You know what the Miles Gore said, watch the money, okay? Well, here you go. The problem is, it is now, the central bank and the government, okay, they are watching everyone. Do you like that? This might violate the First Amendment. And also, what happened to China now? China used the same idea in the WeChat Pay is like a digital RMB. So what happens if you go protest? If you say anything different, then your bank account is frozen. Even you have 5 million RMB yuan in the bank, we see the protest in Zhengzhou, okay, bank. And they go to protest, then you know what happens? You have 5 million, but you're not allowed to draw the cash back. You only allowed like 500, so like 100 Australian dollars a day for just buy your essentials. And you cannot use the money anymore because that's what it is. So if you use digitalized fiat, this is much worse. Because then that fiat can be programmed to say, if you do an anti-government movement protest, for example, like the Canadian and Gold Coast and Brisbane and New South Wales truck driver rally to protest the lockdowns. What happened? You see that even in Western free country, your government frozen your bank account, so you cannot put petrol in your truck. How are you going to protest? That's it. And you cannot even buy food, buy a sandwich on the way. I mean, if you protest the whole day, I'm sure you're hungry, all right? So this is already demonstrated that a dictatorship, central controlled currency, okay, it's going to be so harmful for the humans' living condition and equality and freedom of use their own money even. This is too dangerous. So not to mention all the privacy issues. To mention what in China, you know what happens if you are the party secretary in the county, then you use that, you paid for extra girls or extra mistress. This can become a weapon from your political enemy and then take you down straight, okay? Vice versa. I think the same happens in the Western country. If government know all that information, and know all your secret, you're basically naked. So everyone might just walk on the street every day and save some money by clothing in the summertime, just walk around naked. That's exactly, probably worse than that. Back to you.
Yeah, okay, Lily, I want to ask you, is there any possibility, second question, is there any possibility at all for privacy issues to be addressed with CBDC? Flower, next slide.
Well, I think CBDC will never address privacy issues because it's a central issue. If everything is numbered, it can. There is a system to trace from the dollar, the currency, from A to B, B to C, and how much. And I think CBDC will, unless they change the algorithm, but I don't see government will give up control so easily. Yeah, at the moment, I don't see it addressing privacy issues at all. In fact, it's intended to be a digital cuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
Digital cuff
said.
on people.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So moving on to the third question. That says Himalaya Euro and Himalaya Exchange. What's so different with Himalaya Euro and Himalaya Exchange, starting with 2007?
Yeah, Himalaya Euro, so-called the HEU, will be released, and it's combined cutting-edge blockchain technology. Okay, and it's the future. It's one of the top robust features of this stable coin, okay, for the future, and the true stable coin in the providing liquidity and the reliability to holders. In contrast, also HEU is one of the only 1:1 European-backed stable coin, and will also be 100% the Euro reserve, independently audited. Okay, this is one thing. So all that description, independent auditing, and also it's put in it's originally €1 back. It's also going to be independent reserve. Okay, some top government reserve bank is going to hold in that. So no one will touch it. No one can misappropriation of the fund, and also no one can use that to buy another cryptocurrency. What they've done to not packed to that. You owe two things. You take a gold back, 20%, another 80% is euro dollar backed. So this is a huge big differences to any other exchanges, and this is the strength of Himalaya exchange. We will see very quickly.
Lily, what else do you have to add as far as the Himalaya Euro and Himalaya exchange is concerned?
Well, of course, we have the payment system as well. We have audits. We are, as 007 has said, is 1:1, 100% cash reserve. And also we are sort of backed by gold as well. So I think the backing of it is very different. CBDC Euro, what is it backed by? Except the central government. Central government is backed by what? That's all. Yeah. That's what
Exactly.
I want to say. Yeah.
So moving on to the fourth question, is there any wonder why House Republicans are opposed to the legislation to advance US CBDC? Should we be surprised that because even in EU, it was the member of parliament themselves who are having suspicion and have actually voiced their concern. And that's why the president of the ECB said, oh, we got to address conspiracy theory. So is it really conspiracy theory through 007?
Well, there's nothing coincident. There's no conspiracies, okay? And there's the inevitableness of how people in the society been divided to leftists, rightists, or conservative, or developers. So these are the two sorts, and therefore divided into two political movements. So in other words, at least half people want to look. We're not going to be, using the CBDC because what we just said, the private issues and the traceability. Then you are never going to, Have you watched the movie, by the way? Recently, I watched, a year ago, I watched it. It's a movie about the timing. So in your arm, there is a long digital number, how many time you have left. But you could use money to time, you know? It's the same thing. How much digital currency left in your, in the SIM card stored either, okay, on your handset, or can be just on the hand, okay? In the Heku point, just leave it there, small thing. So you just pay like that. That's like how much money you left. Well, money is time. Time is money, right? So, which means if you got no money left, it means you're gonna be dead, right? Theoretically, and plus that if you've been isolated from the SIM card, from communication with anyone else's, you're gonna be dead as well. And especially in the future, if people have no relative anymore, you know how my school mentioned, you might be artificial insemination and all this kind of man-made babies, okay, and genetically modified. Here you go, don't have any parents, no relative to help you. Can you see what this is going to be a, not that bright side of human race is portrayed in the Hollywood movies you've seen from time to time. So therefore, I think now have learned all that either theoretically or through movies or imagination or technological projection. People will be very alert, okay, to have using the CBDC, because it's just like a time bomb or money bomb, okay, and wherever you go is tracked, and you could set different zones. What about two countries in a neighbor country? They're not friendly. What happened? When we walk the other country, the automatic algorithm of exchange to other currency, even CBDC, it doesn't work anymore. So you could be restricted to it, like in China. Okay, they have done all the experiment. You could restrict just in the county or in the village. If you walk out the village, your WeChat Pay doesn't work. So digital wallet. So we see this will only give the dictatorship the power to control people. So what, in contrast, what we want to know, if we're going to oppose the CBDC, we're going to really explore the decentralized finance.
Yes.
Okay, using AI technology and the decentralized crypto chains, and therefore no authority can control every individual freedom of like HPay, okay, for example.
Yeah. So Lily, tell us a little bit in the most succinct manner, the major difference between Himalaya Exchange, Himalaya Euro, and Euro CBDC, digital Euro. The major difference.
Oh, major difference is, first of all, is the anonymity. Okay, Himalaya Euro, it's sort of like it's decentralized. Okay, and that's very important. CBDC Euro is centrally issued. So so CBDC has to come under the regulations of each national government. If CBDC say that CBDC Euro said that, okay, we are at war with China and you can't use CBDC to if you go for sort of like if you can't use CBDC in China, okay? So but where was Himalaya Euro? As long as somebody in China is willing to accept Himalaya Euro, we can transact without it's point-to-point transaction. If the other party is willing to accept the transaction, it can go through. It's cross-border. It's above national policy. It's above traceability, and we don't need to go through exchange. Whereas CBDC, it because it's centrally issued, the government can control. And if the European Parliament deem that you are against their interests, they can sort of put their hand in their accounts. And I just want to say that politicians are against CBDC because if they force the CBDCs on the people, they have to use it themselves. They are thinking of their own pockets. how are they going to account? They may not want to have transactions they want to expose just through CBDC. So I think all the central banks are fighting an uphill fight, and it just exposed their ambition of dictatorship on the people. And also CBDC, they can be issued at will. It's going to use the CBDC as a value of viewed as an asset, to keep it as, to retain the value of the asset. So yeah. So
I actually know a lot
that's
of
the biggest difference. Yeah.
I actually know a lot of exchanges, crypto exchanges that do not support certain type of transfers. Also, banks do not support transfers to certain crypto exchanges. Certain platforms that has an ecosystem, they are also against. So everybody, my sense is that everybody is fighting for their turf in the new world of DeFi. So financial banks, financial institutions, traditional financial institutions do not want people to go into the crypto space. Even exchanges, they do not want people to transfer money from the crypto exchange wallet to other DeFi platforms. So everybody are trying to fight for their turf, so making things very difficult. But then, the trend cannot be reversed, seriously. Wherever people are now much more alert, aware of what is happening. We are just going to have a look at what Malscore said about the policies towards digital currencies in various countries. Over to you, Fla.
美国、欧洲、英国，包括日本，最近提出来大力支持发展数字货币。而且出台了一系列的政策，是由当地的央行出的啊，还都没有一个国家还有明确的数字货币的监管机构，还也没有法律，就是一个一个现在出散弹式的打乱枪。日本说了，任何人要搞稳定币，必须和日本的当地的银行联合开发。英国已经基本马上要公布了，说任何稳定币必须和当地的银行，就是你在他银行开户，你的所谓稳定币钱必须在他钱里控制着。主权级的数字货币，包括美元，包括欧元，没有人买，不但现在，以后也没人买。就是国家主权的数字货币，它不是去中心化，它是绝对中心化，而且所有的安全和隐私和低成本都不会发生。你干嘛拿下一个铁的手铐脚镣，换上现代版的电子手铐脚镣呢？那不是傻子吗？包括瑞士发行的数字瑞士币，有人买吗？没人买。就在我直播前，还有人过某国家说啊，我们国家也要发行这个数字货币啊，到时候这个让你来帮我们发，我们一起来合作。我说你发的币就是个垃圾，不会有人买的。他说你怎么这么说话呢？我说你试试，我说你要发行了你的主权数字货币，还有人买的话，买你的人一定是傻子。过去被你这些主权型的、带有国家级强迫性的法币，已经现在成了威胁老百姓、榨取老百姓的工具，而且一榨就是多少年，越榨越深。现在利用各种所谓的反洗黑钱呐、反腐败呀，你跟人家老百姓的钱啥关系啊？任何国家你的腐败都不会超过你的 GDP 的30%，像美国这国家也不会超过10%。任何国家你的恐怖袭击，你不会超过你1%，但是你每年365天，24小时7天1周，你让99.99%的老百姓为你这些所谓的这些反洗钱、反恐怖付出所有的代价和成本，都已经21世纪了，还这么骗老百姓呢？是老百姓没选择，你有选择凭啥搞你啊？澳大利亚搞数字货币，澳大利亚数字没人买，你国与国之间交易，你玩吧，老百姓买你干啥？是为了利息吗？是为了方便吗？是为了安全吗？那不是当傻子去了吗？今年到明年，我觉得一定会诞生区块链会计记账技术。区块链记账技术一旦发生在全世界，共产党烟消云散，人家所有的东西都是区块链，不可更改，不改篡改。你不加入个区块链的全球记账技术，就不会人加入了国际联合国和全球的国际金融系统。那加入区块链是不可能有人改，包括美国那印发的美元、超发的美元都会，就像那海水退去，海滩干干净净一样。就这绝对是个数据、财务、科技、统计、金融一个完全透明化的时代，完全是不可逆转的。然后各国央行都要想办法发行自己的数字货币，然后想代替、想竞争，甚至立各种恶法，不让你使用数字货币，禁止你交易数字货币。都会失败，在未来2-3年会无数次这样。就是数字货币是过街的老鼠，人人喊打，但它最终玩不成，因为它改变不了区块链时代的到来，改变不了芯片的到来，绝对做不到。
Okay, so what Malscore said, in essence, is that the policies is that they want the stable coin to cooperate with local banks in US, in UK and Japan, specifically he mentioned. I just want to ask True 007, what are your thoughts behind this? You know, requiring private issuer stable coins to cooperate with local banks, isn't it a sign of them wanting a slice of the market? True 007.
For sure, when you use the local banks is under the supervision and of the government, relevant government body, maybe the Department of SEC and Justice. So for anti-money laundering, so-called, and all that kind of reason. So basically, it's make your book open to the authorities. So there's nothing to hide. I mean, that's fair enough. The thing is, as we see numerous times, even including U.S. Silicon Valley Bank's bankruptcy recently, okay? So no banks is safe, okay? This is the situation. They are all engaged in the financial system created by the designer, okay? By the Feds and by those top financial swamp guys, okay? In order to explore the possibility of every value contributors, i.e. workers, you and me, okay, and everyone, and him and her. Given that situation, you cannot trust the banks because we see them go bankrupt, like in 1930s. Think about, from there, now U.S. banks, I think every day there were rumors that suppose a few banks or a dozen of banks go bankrupt, okay, every day or every week. So it's going to be soon or later you will see the whole situation of chained economical metrics collapse. So when that happens, can we trust any local banks that are holding our stable coin? The answer is absolutely no. And not to mention sometimes, that stable coin, that digit, that the real value, for example, really cash money, if you give it to the bank to hold, once they'll go bankrupt, then no one will guarantee. Government guarantee you? I don't think so. They cannot guarantee themselves. Look at the U.S. government. They cannot even open for business. Okay, there's meetings, you see. So if they cannot save themselves, how can they guarantee they can save us? No, there's no way. So I think what we need now is that once we enter into, for example, Himalaya euros, and that money really, even you are euro cash backed, I mean, they can issue more CBDC euros if anyone buy them. Even not, there's still, much more notes needed. Okay, much more notes are not needed, been issued in the circulation, in the velocity. So that means that's where the source of cost of information, okay, inflation. That's why prices are all going up. Too much money on the market, okay. So given all that, and plus that Chigo Miles said that we better to have a gold reserve. Okay, gold reserve. Gold seems to be proven from ancient until now. It's some kind of sense which is everyone really needed when there's a high risk at times. Okay, threaten to the world's security. But at the same time, I think we should reasonably say this major digital currency. No, this major fiat could be even exist for next 10 years. So there is a transition, not overnight, that we're holding some, euros, and then, let's do the transition and find the God. You probably find about what happened. If you have the credibility, you have the technology, maybe you have the trustworthiness, you have this group like a G Club, everyone have credit. What you can do, you can just have your own. Why not have your own, decentralized currency, which is equivalent to gold? So you can just buy the gold, and that won't be subject to any linkage into any country's, government issued cash. For example, euro and US dollars. When they go bankrupt, well, you see, the government can go bankrupt. Of course, it can. When they go bankrupt or when they devalue the money, we're not going to be dragged down. So I'm sure that there are scientists, consultants, and the majority investors big guys, and they're going to be finding out the way how we can make a stable coin truly stable, but not only that, but also value added against all the major currencies. I think this is what Miles Go has been planned and is in progress, I believe. Okay. So another point I want to add from point 4 is why the lawmakers now they hold the horses, don't want to go ahead with the CBDC. You know, let me make me remember one story in the Chinese proverb called the 请君入宫. So invite the gentleman come along, talk about this. So the emperor want a guy who is like Wang Jishan, okay, and he has under anti-corruption has get 1 million of these political opponent and put them in jail, rob the money for them own, and so on. So you know what happened? And then Xi Jinping, pretty smart, and find he's another guy to see, is there any way that you can help me to sort out the Wang Jishan? He said, of course. So one day, they were party hold in Beijing, okay, in the Zhongnanhai, and Wang Jishan was invited with Xi Jinping and the other guy. And his smart consultant, okay, will talk a story, what would be the best way to get every of you guys, okay, open the mouth, talk about where they hide the money, so we can, we can collect all the corruption money and not give it to Xi Jinping or give it to the Chinese finance department, but so we can transfer out more for our own families. You know what Wang Jishan said? Okay, this is pretty easy. You just set up a wok, okay? It's like a huge giant China pot, and put the fire under and put the water in it. You ask the person who doesn't want to open the mouth, you just put them inside the pot and continue heating while you and I, and she, we just keep drinking our Mao Tai, talk about what we're going to do to take down Taiwan. He said, that's a good idea. Then he told Wang Jishan, please, the wok is here now. There's a group of soldiers who put the wok there inside, they set up the fire under. So just like this, fire under, Wang Jishan, please go into the wok. Here you go. You know what? People are afraid. If you are a lawmaker, no matter what you are left or right party, when this CBDC sin become a reality, no one can escape, including yourself. You create this thing, you be like a vote for yourself. Here you go. Yep. Back to you.
Yeah, very interesting story there. I only remember one thing. Malscore once said that when Himalaya Euro is issued, he actually told us during broadcast, he said, buy more. I'm just wondering whether Lily has any thought about that particular comment of Himalaya, Malscore telling us to buy more Himalaya Euro. Why do you think that is the case?
I did remember buying more. He said that Himalaya Euro will take off. So I guess it's just the timing of it. But at the same time, getting sort of from our normal banking, all right, the money must come from our account, right? So for example, like CBA in Australia, they are restricting us to transfer into certain accounts. So that is something that is the hurdle that have to come that has to overcome. So yeah, that can just show that the fight is on, the struggle is on. The way I just want to say that all the central banks singing the chorus of CBDCs are by no coincidence, because it seems to be an orchestrated movement. So who are CBDCs working? Who are our central banks working for? Is it for the people? Well, obviously not. There are interest group behind all these choruses of CBDC. That's all I can conclude, and that sort of makes me even more. That's why I sort of feel the decentralized finance movement. The more that our central banks are singing the choruses of CBDCs, the more it will feel the movement
Resistance.
of decentralized finance. Yeah.
Mm.
And of course, people's resistance, and we already seeing our government, especially in Australia, we are sort of like the cash are decreasing all the time. All our bank branches are disappearing. A lot of things are going online. In Britain, I think they are doing away with £20 notes, from what if I recall correctly. So our notes are disappearing, our cash are disappearing. A lot of things are going online, and people are already feeling bearing the brunt of inflation. And now you want to add CBDCs that is taking away anonymity and giving the government total transparency on our money movement. No way. So the people will scout for other avenues for their store of other avenues to store their as storer of asset value.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Exactly. Very good. Very well said. Now, today we have concluded our session, but before we go, we want to remind everybody, program Daylight Saving has already started in Sydney, in Australia, I would say. Sydney is not Australia. So over in the East Coast right now, I think they are 3 hours ahead of Beijing time. Whereas in New York, it still remains the same. The program starts at 9 p.m. on a Sunday. But over in Sydney, it has already changed to 12 noon on a Monday. Thank you very much. Before we part way, let's have a look at G Fashion. And because this is one platform that uses HPay, and we always want to remind ourselves, if you want to have the top fashion, most unique looking fashion, you have to shop from G Fashion. Over to you, Flower.
安全，对前沿加密技术出手，让你的财富没人能夺走。稳定币、浮动币设计天下无双，还有20%黄金挂钩，摧毁不停压榨你的机器，从此不再做金钱的奴隶。洗联储的大门永远张开向你，前途光明就在洗币。
我看这个。